So let me teach you.
Goodness gracious. Heavens, Betsy. Gosh, that was loud. Gosh. One second, then we can turn this up. Hello. Hi. How does this sound? Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? I might have to monitor my noise for a moment. I was testing it a moment ago. I wonder if I can. Can I test it without you hearing it? Let me know if you hear me double, okay? Hello. Okay. It's hard to gauge how I should talk, but that's much better. Only in one earbud. Yeah, does it change at all when I go around the microphone? Do I have an omnidirectional microphone? Here, let me. I should just be able to adjust that. I could put a phonograph effect. Here we are. There's an audio setting that I can toggle to censor my curse words, but I don't see how to put on mono. Right now it's on stereo, that's why you hear it in one ear and not both. Now, how do I change it? I did not have that problem when I was testing my audio. I apologize. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, oh, oh. Celia. Hello, Pixie Lee. How is this? It is now converted to mono. I'm testing my audio for myself, so I can hear what you hear and see what you see. Is there a way for your mic to be like below instead of up there? start. I'm so proud of us. I guess I better keep these on for a moment. I have to look at the screen a little more. These will come off momentarily as well. I don't need them. Okay. I'm just testing the audio again so I can memorize how loud I gotta be. Alright. There we are. And I'll bring back I'll bring this back. Are you able to hear the music? Yeah, excellent. I'll take this off. You're going to bed right now? Well, excellent. That's what I was hoping. It's just a little chill stream. I think all I'm gonna do is read a little story that I'm writing. The other night I had an extremely cool dream that I'm currently writing. And I hope that the writing is extremely cool. But yeah, I'm going to be reading and doing ASMR. Maybe a little bit at the same time. Do you like when I rub my hands together? I didn't realize I was doing it, but I think this is a trigger for me, for sure. I was just absent-mindedly tracing my hand. Can you hear that? TikTok won't let you put a bunch of hearts in the chat. The censorship. Censorship. It's crazy. Big brother. Thought police. Was that just incredibly loud? My apologies. I know you have quite sensitive ears. Hence why I whisper at you always. Excuse me. Every bang and bump probably rings through your skull like a clap of thunder, huh? smaller than me. Statistically. Are my cells bigger than yours? Or do I just have the same size cells as you but more? I feel comfortable with this whisper. How is it for you? Have a little clip. Just a little pretty little clip. I like clipping things into my hair these days. I went a long time without one of these until a friend of mine. There's a cat. There's a little baby kitty cat named Penny the cat, crunching and munching behind me. The nerve of her. The absolute nerve. The ASMR will have to wait momentarily. Have you ever thought about how objects have experiences too, and then just not conscious of them? Yeah, I've been thinking about my Koopa. My Koopa, my grandfather was a blues musician, among many things. He was an artist, and he had a bunch of old harmonicas and a tambourine that's been busted since before I was born. Just a tambourine barely hanging on, but they're built well. So even though it was fully flopping all over the place, it wouldn't break no matter how much I shook it around as a kid. And I think about that tambourine and the life it lived before I was even born. And the people who played it that I've never met because I don't know that part of my family. I never met that grandfather while I was conscious. I only ever met him before my memory started, which is quite impressive because my memory started I might have 10-month memories, cause I remember lots of shit. Oh, is it too vulgar perhaps to swear? Are we okay if I swear? Is that comb too small for your hair? Like Toy Story? Yeah, exactly like Toy Story. Oh. Was that basically what you're talking about, Aubrey? Aubrey, Aubrey, Aubrey. Are you able to see okay? My computer cannot show me what you see because I've set the night light to 100% because my dainty little eyes, my sweet little eyes are very sensitive. I think there's a psychological theory for that, but I don't know too much. Yeah. That's cool to ponder. I often think about stuff like that with stuff like this too. It's a little calm from a set we've not had for way too long. buzzing behind me. My refrigerator started running. Perhaps somebody ought to catch it. Hi. Gosh, to explore. Some scissors. Our old friends in the little barbering kit. Is that terribly loud for you? Or is that swell? I wonder. Is there a way I could clean? I wonder if there's a way. Can I tuck this middle? Does that look completely ridiculous? Can you tell that it's a flower? That it's a little rose? Or does it look like a growth on my skull? I think I look rather charming. I think I'd like this look for me. What do you think? that noise terrible? Or is that satisfactory? Hello? I appear as having 0 views. But just a moment ago there was 4 of you. Is something on my side incorrect? You like... Oh, you're back. Goodness gracious. Don't scare me like that. I looked away for just a moment. Or perhaps I'm hallucinating. I've been known to do that from time to time. Pareidolia, they say. And what's worse, what's the more annoying one of them is the auditory pareidolia. That's a funny one. Minding your own business. Some white noise attacks your eardrums, and you hear funny things. I hear funny things in the dark. I hear funny things out here. I want to come back inside. I'm better now. That's reference to the movie The Thing. Excuse me. I've been really wanting to watch The Thing again. Or how is the energy of a ADHD person doing ASMR and rambling? What do you think? Should I focus up, or is this the mood vibe? Oh. No. I've thought about how I would do it. Cutting my hair, that is. I would do it slowly. I think I would take at least the course of 1 year to cut my hair. And I would spend maybe 3 months with different hairstyles until we cut it short. And I just cut it at home sleep. And I eat. And I remember. I can't cut my hair. What? What are you talking about? Look at this. It's just about down to my butt. Which is a bit of a feat because I have a long body. Excuse me, I'm tickled with that description. I don't know if long-bodied is necessarily how I would describe myself, but I suppose it's not inaccurate. Rattle tracing. Of course. Anything for you. All you need is S. I've always gotten comments on my eyebrows my entire life. Always something or another. For a long time, people have asked me if I shape my eyebrows. No. Should I? I wonder. Usually these folks are speaking complimentary, though, so I never feel judged about it, I think. But also, I have a tendency to raise my eyebrows when I speak. I'm very expressive. That's a sticking point for some people. I don't even notice it. I'm doing this at you while you're talking to me. And I don't realize it. And then people will yell at me and say, put your eyebrows down or don't judge me. I'm not judging you. I'm just looking at you. That better than whispering? What? I wasn't paying attention. This, what I'm doing right now, it is what I was doing. I went into a fugue state. This, okay. What was I talking about? How is the vibe of an ASMR streamer with extreme ADHD? I have to remind myself to slow down, I have to slow down. Moving too fast for you. Am I talking too fast for you? That's Master of Disguise, isn't it? I always ask that. I don't know why it doesn't stick. Movie references usually stick. They are of special interest to me. Lately, I was just able to show Dear Pixie Lee the movie Ran. I showed her Ran by Akira Kurosawa because it's been a while. And what was your answer? Do you enjoy the vibe of extreme ADHD paired with ASMR still? I think that's one reason I ask several times. Because I feel that the first time I asked, I was being slightly ridiculous. But then after receiving validation for being a ridiculous person, I wonder if I ramp it up. Did you hear? You are nothing. 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 Been playing the harmonica again. I took a week-long break. Perhaps two. Focused a lot on drawing. A lot on drawing. I posted my drawings a couple a week, maybe 2 posts a week. Maybe 1. The time gets away from me. The time gets away. Been playing my harmonica in the key of A, and I've been feeling good about it. Exploring my beautiful little instrument. What a lovely creation, isn't it? The harmonica. So compact. I can bring it anywhere. I take it outside and I practice. Take it in the yard. I have to start taking it on car rides. My traveling harmonica. But perhaps I've been trying to spare the world my beginner skills. Because I bought a harmonica in December. That's about how long I've been practicing. A couple minutes every day. Just getting familiar. Feeling it out. Learning how to blow and draw and bend and growl. Oh, wow. Get a load of these pearls. Oh, wow. I'm a little parched. I hope you don't mind mouth noises in an ASMR stream. Practicing harmonica. Hello. So lovely to have you here. So lovely to see you again. It's been a moment. Excuse me, I adjust myself momentarily. I should probably stand for a few minutes. It's been about an hour, a little longer than an hour, sitting in this blasted chair. My squeaky little chair. My back-breaking, disgusting chair. Can you hear my refrigerator running? I don't remember the answer to that either. Perhaps I should pay attention to the chat a slight, might, bit more. Just a little bit. That's good. That's good. I'm like a bird. I can only fly away. The past few days I've had the best hits of the 2000s stuck in my head. Stuck in my head. Stuck in my head. And playing a lot of them. I've been listening to the radio a lot. Listening to the songs that I haven't heard for a decade and belting them out. This morning while I was cooking, I was listening to the radio and I heard Werewolves of London. What a funny little song. Werewolves of London. Little old lady got me late last night. Werewolves of London again, yeah. Little baby teeth marks on the ear of this rattle are gonna make me cry. How darling is that? This was little baby's rattle. Little baby's rattle. And now lives with me. Isn't that cute? Isn't that darling? Darling. Darling. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for your presence. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Enjoy streaming. I've missed it. Took a short break. Took a long break. Perhaps we'll continue a little break, but I plan on streaming at least once a week. Twice, hopefully. On the weekends. This weekend is Mother's Day. Can you hear that? That is. You heard nothing. I am not embarrassed. Rid your mind of it. Perish the thought. Perish it. Hello. I was talking about cinema earlier, and the movie Ran. Ooh, what a beautiful film. Beautiful film. 2 hours and 45 minutes of Akira Kurosawa's best. As always, I love him. I like Japanese cinema. Old and the new. Very cool. Very lovely. I love world cinema. I love reading. I love listening. I like the music. It plays constantly. Constantly. Enchanting me. Me encanto. Encanto. Encantado. Encantado. Yes, indeed. I've been watching lots of fun movies. It's nice to get a nerd movie in every once in a while. I hope that's not a cringe, I suppose, calling it nerd movies. Perhaps everybody is into Ran. Perhaps I am in fact a dweeb of some sort. You decide. You were the witness, you be the judge. I don't question you, your honor. I did it for love. What more can I say? You know Harlequin? I love Harlequin. Speaking of music, that gets stuck in my head. Movie music, classic rock, the blues, ooh, Chains and Things by B.B. King has been stuck in my head. Beautiful, beautiful, lovely, gorgeous music. Just like somebody that I know. Oh. Like and follow. I realized it might have looked like I was only tracing for myself on the back, but I was listening. Were you able to hear? Can you hear this? Or should I just show you the little spirals I've been tracing? being slightly ADHD perhaps, I often have to take a breath. I have to take a moment to take a breath, to take stock. And to slow down. Perhaps you can relate. Hard worker that you are. I see you. I'm proud of you. You're doing well. Good job. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. I love you, mothers, and the rest of you. Assuming that you are chill, be cool, boy, be cool, real cool. Hi. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for your presence. Merci. Merci beaucoup. Muchas gracias. Thanks. Imut. A little itchy eye. Those have been commonplace lately. What with the allergy season and the trees drifting pollen all over my little vehicle, my little Christine. If you're familiar with the movie Christine, with the car that is bad to the bone. That car was bad. Based on the Stephen King book, Christine, the living car, taking vengeance on all that wrong her. Or whoever she likes. And I have a crusty little vehicle that when I first got her refused to start for anyone else. Did you hear that vehicle going past? I bet you did. Foolish fellow that I am, I forgot to close that window. Apologies. Crustine, my crusty car, refused to start for anybody but me, so I decided to call her Crustine. Interesting little vehicle she is. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. My shoulders are so stiff. Today and yesterday, I spent about, oh gosh, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour bent over with a weed whacker. Those are little weighty, not terribly heavy, but to hold them in such funny little positions uses muscles that need care. Excuse me. Hope you don't mind. There. Much better. Is this staying? Thank you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for your time. Adjusting the microphone. Moving. Sorry. Where were we? Do we feel like more of this? Do we have any topics that I can return to that you are interested in? What say you? I always love hearing your thoughts. Upside down question mark. Perhaps you held on the question mark. Of course. Of course I can do that. You'd like a little tracing? Here, I'd just like to study you a moment. Is that okay with you? I'd like to trace your face. I'd just like to trace your face. I've been practicing my portraits lately, and I'm improving. Perhaps I'll show you in a bit. When we're done. Done, 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 done. When we've had some time. I've been practicing portraiture. Mostly drawing myself. Making fun little pages of quite ridiculous photos of myself, might I say. Ones I've saved for just such an occasion. For many reasons. One, I think it's just easier to take a quite ridiculous picture of yourself and draw it, rather than trying to look sexy. But perhaps that's just a skill issue for me. So I opt for taking fun pictures with interesting expressions so I can practice my expressions. Over your little eyebrow there. And your other eyebrow. Did I mention I love your eyebrows? Eyebrows, they're so fun, aren't they? The expressions and the shapes, the color. Some people have different colored facial hair from the top of their head and from the rest of their body, don't they? I do. Most of my hair is quite dark. Dark hair. For certain. But the hair on my chin, I often get golden or silver hairs there. Isn't that interesting? On the top of my head, I've found a few silver and golden hairs. I wonder how many I have hidden up there under all of this hair. How funny. Hello, Sully. Nice sunglasses. They're just like mine. These are my prescription glasses. Because I have sensitive little eyes. Perhaps not that little. I don't know. Where was I? Portraiture. Practicing drawing. Practicing drawing you. I would like that. I want to branch out. I think drawing myself is good practice, but I would like to draw other beautiful people. Other lovely folks out there. What was difficult about that was if it was anybody that I knew, that I would have to go through the process of drawing somebody truly terribly because of I don't necessarily plan as much as I could. I've been thinking of using a grid. Maybe that would be good. But I like the challenge. I like to do it the funny way. Less gridding. Just practicing. I've been working on simplifying shapes. Like the nose. Like your nose right here. Your little nostrils. Right here. Cute little nose. Unlike my nose, which is large. And I like my nose a lot. I like it. And my cheeks. I like them. I've been learning a new appreciation of my visage from drawing. It's been long overdue. Every couple of years, I take some time to study myself And it's been a long time. It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this, my dear, since can't remember when. I had to update my portrait. Last time I drew it, I might have been. Last time I want to say last time I did a serious study on my face, which is to say, looked at my face for an extended period of time and drew it incessantly. Last time I did that must have been when I was 16. 16. Living on my own. Having an interesting time. So I drew myself to cope and to learn some self-love. And I think it worked wonders. I wonder how you practice self-love. I hope you study yourself and see how beautiful you are. Happy Mother's Day. Goodness gracious. I've made myself, well, perhaps, any case, I've teared up a little. I genuinely hope that you practice self-love and be kind. I think I've put myself in the mood for tears today. Earlier, I was watching a little video on the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. What a beautiful movie. And thinking about Wayman always brings a tear, brings many tears to my eyes. I guess that's what I'm thinking about. He says, be kind. And I think that's beautiful. Excuse me. Do I need to take a second to wipe my face off, or we chillin'? I'm chillin'. 'Tis the season for movies. I've been missing watching movies and studying. I think that's a big reason I love cinema. I love film dearly, intensely, as I do everything I love. Every piece of art, every type of art, every lovely person that I know, all my beautiful, excellent, lovely friends, my dear beloved, loved ones. My dearly beloved film. How I've missed film. I have boxes of movies calling my name. What will I watch next? Perhaps Annihilation on Blu-ray. Excuse me. moistened eyes. Hi. Annihilation on Blu-ray, perhaps I'll watch. I previously owned it on, well, I currently own it on DVD in standard definition. What a shame. Ooh, qué pena. Demasiado mala. Demasiado mala. It's such a beautiful movie. Very beautiful. Makes me want to draw. And I haven't yet watched it in Blu-ray. And I only recently got it. And I feel kind of ridiculous because I was made fun of for getting it on Blu-ray like an old man. Do you think I'm an old man for purchasing a movie on Blu-ray in the year 2026? So sue me. Thank you for the follow, Julian. Thank you. Your presence is noted and appreciated. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Thank you for coming. Stay hydrated. I did an extreme amount of sweating today. Dancing around the house. I felt invigorated. I felt like dancing to music, jumping from foot to foot. There's a cat behind me crunching once again. Dastardly cat crunching again. Crunch, crunch, munch, munch. What a ridiculous prospect. A Penny the cat. Isn't that just silly? Penny the cat crunching her food. What a hungry critter. I don't know why for. Mostly she's been sleeping. Perhaps I should run around the house with her some more. She's getting a little chubby. Little house cat. I've been clicking my tongue as a little filler. Do you have any other suggestions you would like to hear? I don't even think about it because I'm kind of mesmerizing myself. Pineapple, 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 pineapple. You are getting very hungry for pineapple, 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 pineapple. I'm getting hungry for pineapple. I've had some delicious frozen pineapple in my fridge for a considerable amount of time in my freezer. But I haven't known what to use it for because I make smoothies. But I use yogurt. Do not add pineapple to dairy products. The enzymes in a pineapple curdle dairy, or it denatures the proteins and causes it to expire, and it doesn't taste all that excellent anymore. So I haven't known what to use the pineapple. Haven't known what to use it for. The bubbly sound. Is that the bubbly sound? I can't do it when I'm smiling. Imagining my face with my eyes closed is even stupider. Checking out your eyebrows again. Lovely eyebrows they are. And a little car peeling out on the road. Goodness gracious. And your little bridge of your nose. And your little nostrils. And your philtrum. This little part here. Down to your lips. Luscious lips. Beautiful smile. And now your chin. Your chin, your jaw. Do you want to read story? I can read to you. I'm not sure who was here earlier, but several times this stream I've alluded to a story I've been writing. A dream that I had a few days ago. Excuse me. I have to give my little nose a wipe with some, not cloth, paper towel. I should have something gentler around my desk for my nose during allergy season. That's my knee. Sorry. That's the top of my scalp. I'm gonna stand momentarily. So adjust my shorts. maybe stand momentarily. Let my little legs have some. Ooh. Oops, sorry. Okay. Ooh. I have a very small little cramped space. So I have to make a habit of standing a little. Sorry for the chair. Thank you for the likes. Follow if you enjoy. Some chill vibes. Music. What would be appropriate for the story? Are we doing video game music again? Or am I staying with ASMR sounds? Should I do well, The Last of Us? Last of Us music was good. Yes, it was. My ear just started ringing. E is what it sounds like. Ooh, excuse my little chair creaking. We'll put on some music. I hope that's a little satisfying and not just tremendously loud. Now, how is that volume? Keyboards are a huge ASMR trigger. Yes, I enjoy the sound of keyboards. How's the volume of the music? Just down a bay. Well, that's down to 0. Let me turn it down here then. How is that? Is that down too much? Or should it go down a little more? Does it? They haven't still that. Okay. How is this one? I think this is my tempo. Perfect. I agree. I guess I'll take the headset off. I enjoy listening to the music with you, but I think I look ridiculous with the headset. And also my ears. Yeah. No headset. It's not my tempo. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get this. Is it still good? Or is it failing? Thank you for the likes. Thank you for your presence. I'm dewy like the rose. little rose made of cedar bark. Okay. So I have to adjust a little. So, for the last couple days, I've been writing a story I had 2 or 3 days ago. Writing a dream that I had 2 or 3 days ago. And it is connected to a series of dreams I've been having for a long time. So, this is a bit far into it. It's a part of a series, is what I'm meaning to say. Part of a little series, but I would like to expand. This is The Rotted City. I should drink some water first. Sorry. Title drop into drinking water. What a showman. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your follows. If you enjoy the content and would like more, please follow. You are strong, you are wise, you are loved. This is The Rotted City. Redo title drop. This is The Rotted City. I dreamt I was in a city choked with rot. I roamed what was left of a once bustling capital. The world looked like my nightmares had been showing me for years, but that I had brushed away in hopes it was just that, just nightmares. My future sight so showed true. Excuse me, I have to adjust my page. One sec. One more title drop coming. The Rotted City. I'm actually gonna restart, goodness. A little nervous. Thank you for coming. I dreamt I was in a city choked with rot. I roamed what remained of a once bustling capital. The world looked like my nightmares had been showing me for years, but that I had brushed away in hopes it was just that, just nightmares. My future sight had shown true. The world was caught in spores and endless dark. No one was out. Everything alive was hidden, waiting in ambush or fighting for their lives. I remember crying, cowering, being on one knee in a room not my own. I reached out in silence to something, anything, asking for help, for strength, just a touch of guidance. I crouched in a corner beside the bed for a long time, allowing my tears to fall to the floor, stifling sobs so as not to be heard by potential wandering entities. After a few moments, I placed my hand on the bed to leave and felt something on top of the neatly made blankets. I lifted my hand and held a small blue flower, a little gentle blue flower, a sliver a faded color in this gray, spore-covered city. I placed the flower with my belongings and kept moving. The building I was in was particularly rotted, half eaten away by thick gray mold, with streaks of blue coursing through it. Fat flakes of ash, dust and spore drifted lazily through many halls of this apartment building, and through the city itself. Outside, the streets were clotted with layers on layers of malady that made this place inhospitable. To non-magical entities, and and perilous to those who wielded magic. The spore that drifted the air ceaselessly would drift toward sources of life or of mana unless precaution was taken and rituals cast for protection. Needless to say, life was quite dour in this part of the world, but my purpose remained. As I moved through the apartment building, I found no one and few items of use, but that was nothing new for me. This was far from the first building I've scoured, ever searching, but for what? To find another empty room, searching for the sake of searching, to remain on the move, to find the desiccated remains of another, less fortunate than myself, or perhaps more fortunate. Something needed to change. If I saw one more body, I would do what I must to leave this plane. I continued through the halls, clearing each room. Most doors were unlocked, left in haste and terror. Those that were locked were rotted to the point they were easily bypassed. With a strong shoulder, or so I thought. For in the middle of a hall, after days of search, I found myself abated by one solid door, locked, stuck fast in its frame. I needed to find a way into this room. Excuse me. The room previous gave way easily, so I backtracked, looking for rotted walls, remembering the layout of the apartments above. I didn't note any weak spots in the floor. With so many weakened homes, holes in the floor were common, but I recalled not a thing, nothing of interest in the apartment above. All I recalled from searching the previous floor was one solid floor. I searched each adjacent room, finding no way through. Taking a moment to rest, I stood still and looked outside. I made a habit of looking outside, despite my despair on each reminder of my surroundings. I must look out for threats, or hints, or inspiration. And outside I found an answer. The balcony. I bound to the sliding door, gross and filthy, covered in mold and stuck, but not impassable. Taking time and care to not make noise enough to attract something, I got the door open after some prying, and found myself leaning over the edge, keeping an eye out for danger. Though I was high in the apartment building, I was not safe from outside threats. Perhaps I shouldn't climb from one balcony to the other after all. What could one room possibly have that every room didn't? I couldn't imagine what the room held. I felt a whisper, a glimmer, the tiniest shred of something, and I felt compelled. I felt the tug of the room. My nose felt pulled towards it. What I didn't feel was the climb from one balcony to another. I had no recollection of crossing, but crossed I had. And now I stood outside of a spore-stained sliding glass door. Making an attempt to clear spore from the glass, I silently chuckled to myself. Not a single piece of glass visible. I have to enter this room blind. Bracing for possible noise of effort or for something on the other side, I place my hand on the handle. I place my left hand on the handle, brandishing my other, and slammed the door wide open. Expecting a stuck door, I had used far too much force, and the damage being done, and the silence being shattered, I leapt inside the house before anything outside could see me, or so I hoped. The inside of the apartment was barren, picked clean but somewhat tidy. It wasn't abnormal for rooms to be fairly clean. Most rooms had been raided for resources long ago, and some were just well kept before abandonment. What was odd, however, was the lack of dust. Every room previous, in all the states of disarray they had been left, remained in a layer of spore or dust. But this room was clean of it. Something had been active in here recently. I readied myself to fight. The only route to run away was the door behind me. If anything was here, I would have to face it. I took a breath and began to move through the apartment, scanning each room, clearing them and moving on, not stopping until each room was clear, until I found myself at the bedroom. Locked. A simple lock bypassed with anything long and thin. I took a moment to gather myself, and I patted down my cloth-wrapped arms to find a pin. And with a click, I was through into a spore-infested room. A body in the corner directly in front of me being the source of the spores. Jammed in between the bed and the wall was a dried, emaciated corpse, curled into a ball. Dressed in scavenged rain jackets, cradling a shoulder bag tightly. All this for another body. A moment of hope dashed. I had allowed my longing to bring me here, to another end. I collapsed in the doorway, shoulder pressed into the frame, head down, my hand pressed into the carpet that had grown an extra layer of soft gray fluff. The spores, having been disturbed by the door opening, began to fill the new space, floating past me. I'm protected from the malediction floating along and over my body, though. The source of my protection being a ring on my right hand that was gently buzzing, gently humming with power, guarding me. The noises and lights of my ring are mostly imperceptible to those not allowed or versed in such magics. The ring emits a slight glow and a sound in the presence of magic, so traveling with a slight hum had become quite normal in this rotted place. So normal that I had nearly missed it, the buzz emanating from the corpse. Coming to, I stood and approached the body. The energy felt alien. The purpose felt familiar. Could it be? I swiftly and carefully sifted through the corpse's pockets and its surroundings before picking up the bag and feeling it. Opening the bag, I found the source. A speaking totem. I was familiar with speaking totems. They came in different shapes and sizes. The one before me was 8 inches tall and 4 inches in diameter. A carved wooden idol of a robed woman. Imbued with mana, they can be used to speak over great distances. A totem can connect to several totems or be locked as a couple. These communication talisman can be used over short distance by non-magic entities. But to think that a group of non-magics would have found how to utilize this tool without previous knowledge. Before the rot became known to the wider world, I couldn't imagine it. With the world as it was now, perhaps a group of non-magic users had figured out how to use this talisman with the new context in which they now lived. But perhaps not. More likely, this person found themselves in possession of an item they thought religious and became pursued by Spore. Whatever the case, I sensed no magic in these bones, save for what had seeped in from Spore. The person seemed to have no knowledge of the magic they held. Otherwise, wouldn't they have thrown the totem out the window? The existence of this totem may have been forgotten, or perhaps the group using them had died, and there were more totems that lay under mountains of detritus and death. Or perhaps there was another on the other side of this totem, or several others, a network of survivors with one unlucky scout. I could find connection. I could find asylum in the company of another. No. Perish the thought. You mustn't make up hope again. I found myself reaching for the totem, hands vibrating, not only from the magic detection of my ring, but with the aching, the longing, the want that lived in my skin. I've been alone for so long, I nearly acted without thought. Touching the totem would mean knowing. I could feel if an entity was attached to this totem, and they in turn would feel me. I needed to handle this matter with care. Other survivors were not all acting in the interest of harmony and fellowship. I knew not what danger or solace was attached to this totem. I would have to perform a ritual to better gauge the situation. Wiping my face with my ringed hand, I gathered myself. Long days and nights of endless wandering, restless pondering, and quiet aching had clouded my mind. But now I felt a sobriety and clarity of thought that I hadn't felt in a long time. And that's what I have so far. That is the Rotted City. Thus far. Very good. Thank you. And thank you for the likes. 6.5 thousand likes. How beautiful. How beautiful you are. Your presence makes me very happy. Not just the likes. Although those are lovely. What did you think of the story? I haven't written much for a very long time, so I'm brushing off cobwebs. And if I'm quite honest, I guess I'm just learning a completely new thing that I haven't really practiced since school. So it's been, what? Gosh, I've written sporadically through the years, but it's been like, it feels like it's been over 10 years since I've seriously tried to write anything. Perhaps about 5. 5 years ago I was writing my thoughts on film and stuff like that. 5 years ago I was in the film school, in our little film school, and And I wrote there. So that counts, I think. And then before that, I'd write my thoughts. Or I wrote my thoughts once. But I need to do it more. And I would like to share it with you. I'd like to continue writing this and share it with you. Was it, is my story... Can I ask you for feedback? Are you mentally prepared to answer a few questions? Or should we put an end to stream because I've been streaming for 2 hours now? Oh, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the roses. Thank you. Thank you. Pretty tired? Yeah, me too. It's late o'clock. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your likes. Follow if you enjoyed. I would love to see you again. Although I suspect that everybody who is present is probably asleep. So, you are going to wake up and follow the stream. Ooh. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. I will potentially be streaming again tomorrow, or I guess later today, but we'll see how it goes. It is Mother's Day after all. Happy Mother's Day. You are appreciated. Take care.